Characterize risk. We can characterize or classify risk in different ways. जब हम pathogens की बात करते हैं, depending upon their pathogenicity, we can divide them into risk group 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then whenever we talk about the risk assessment methodology, we have divided risk into two groups. One is acceptable and the second one is unacceptable. Now here we characterize risk according to the malicious risk groups. Now maliciously means बदनीयती के साथ अगर आप pathogen use करें, then what will be the effects? So first one is the non-pathogenic. The second one is low malicious risk group, which is commonly known as LMR. The third one is moderate malicious use risk, which is known as MMR. Then high malicious use risk, known as HAMR, and extreme malicious use risk, which is known as AMR. So these are the 5 malicious risk groups. Now let's discuss them one by one. First is non-pathogenic. These are the inherent hazardous agents or pathogens that causes no or insignificant consequences. So these are the non-pathogenic organisms that are not harmful for the human beings. Then the second includes low malicious use risk. It is so called low because when the inherent hazardous agents or the pathogens, they causes low consequences when used maliciously. जब हम उनको बदनीयती के साथ use करते हैं, it causes low consequences. Now keep in mind that most of the biological agents are included in these first two groups. One is non-pathogenic and the second one is low malicious use risk. Now I want to explain it with the help of an example. Let's take an example of Mycobacterium leprae. Mycobacterium leprae is a acid-fast bacilli. They give strongly acid-fast reaction when stained with carbolfuchsin. The sides of this bacteria are parallel and the ends are rounded. The arrangements are usually palisade. This Mycobacterium tuberculosis causes a disease known as leprosy. Now here the organism grows very slowly. The generation time is about 30 days. And this organism is not highly virulent. We can treat the patient by giving multi-drug treatment. So this microorganism is included in low malicious use risk. The third one is moderate malicious or mild malicious use risk. Now these microorganisms, pathogens or hazardous agents cannot be deployed as biological weapons. It causes low or moderate consequences when used maliciously. It causes low or moderate effects on the economy of any nation. Now many current agents are included in moderate malicious use risk. The example is of C. immitis. It's a fungus. It causes a disease which is commonly known as desert fever. Now desert fever apparently asymptomatic means that no symptoms appear in the patients and it cures without any treatment. But some life-threatening cases has been reported, so it is included in biosafety level 3 and C. immitis is considered to be an example of moderate malicious use risk. Now let's talk about high malicious use risk. It causes national or international consequences. It means that these are the inherent hazardous agents that causes high consequences when used maliciously, and they can be exploited as biological weapons. This leads to high casualties and cause high economic impact as well. Let's take an example of Bacillus anthracis that cause a disease known as anthrax. This bacteria is a gram-positive rod spore former, and in 2004 in the Maryland, that is in United States of America, these spores are transferred from one person to another in the form of mailed letters, as the mailed letter contained the spores of Bacillus anthracis. Now the last one is extreme malicious use risk. Sometimes extreme malicious use risk is considered as HAMR, but because it also causes high risk when used maliciously, but they are not found in the nature. So here high security measures are required and it should be eradicated from the nature. For example, if you have prepared genetically agent or the genetically engineered agent that is considered to be in the risk group of HAMR, that is extreme malicious use risk, then it should be eradicated from the lab as well as from the experimental procedures. Why is it so? Let's take an example of smallpox. Smallpox is caused by a virus known as variola major virus, and Soviet Union in the past they have used smallpox as a bioweapon. After that, worldwide it is decided that smallpox should be eradicated from the world by vaccination. Because this variola virus is highly virulent, it is contagious, means it can be transmitted from one person to another. It is stable in aerosols or in droplets. So they must be eradicated by vaccine, and now it has been done. So scientists have tried to genetically modify this virus. From that it was found that the GM virus or the genetically modified variola major virus is more virulent when genetically modified. So they are totally eradicated from the world by simple use of vaccine.